Forbidden Planet is intelligent science fiction, blending human psychology with William Shakespeare's The Tempest and 1950s sci-fi. Before 2001: A Space Odyssey, there was Forbidden Planet. Before Star Trek, there was Forbidden Planet. And so, in this video, we will take a look at the space cruiser C57D. Star Trek was heavily influenced by Forbidden Planet. It is set in the 23rd century. There is a United Planets organization, like Star Trek's United Federation of Planets. There is a cruiser run on quasi-naval lines. The cruiser is saucer-shaped and topped by a dome, not unlike the primary hull of the Starship Enterprise. There are circular one-man pads, remarkably like transporter pads. The opening narration of the film predicted moon landings by the end of the 20th century, although the writers, it turns out, were being conservative. Its budget, the film's, not the moon landings, was $1,968,000, and its box office was apparently $2,765,000, which by 2025 cinematic standards would make it a flop, not quite making its money back. In '56, however, this would have been viewed differently. The United Planets cruiser C57D is a flying saucer, remarkably like one of those seen in American skies in the 1950s. But this is a human spacecraft from Earth. It is also a military spacecraft. There is a military atmosphere to the cruiser. When a radar scan is detected from the surface of Altair 4, the ship goes to combat stations. The crew is all male, all wear a uniform. There is a strict hierarchy, and the interior is Spartan. It is as if someone took a film depicting a Second World War naval adventure and transplanted it into outer space. There is even a bosun. As the film was produced a decade after the Second World War, perhaps this should not surprise us. The C57D is capable of planetary landings. It is supported, once down, by a central pillar or pedestal, which is then supplemented by 3 additional legs in the form of ramps, one a gangway and the other 2 conveyors. The underdome changes on landing. The red lights vanish and instead we get a solid silvery steel dome. There cannot be much space inside the C57D, and this is our observation number 1. The diameter of its saucer has been estimated to be between 100 and 175 feet, or 30 and 53 meters, respectively. The upper dome is about 1/3 that, between 33 and 58 feet, which does not leave much space. The hull has enough room for the 2-story interior set at any rate. The physical exterior studio set seen here was only semicircular, measuring some 60 feet. Here we see 2 sentries standing before the gangway, which gives us an idea of size. And yet, could the interiors really fit into it? In a future video we will find out, but we should keep in mind that, by the start of Forbidden Planet, the officers and crew have spent slightly more than a year inside. This is a very long time to be sealed up with 18 other men in a small space, especially men with an average age of 24.6. What the C57D does not seem to have are hull-mounted weapons, and this brings us to observation number 2. The cruiser carries them in storage, and they must be taken out and assembled. This is also true of the tractor, the wheeled vehicle they use to visit the residence of Dr. Morbius. There is a great deal of cannibalizing of parts as well. To communicate with Earth, they must take apart much of the ship's equipment and assemble the means to do so. This is an unusual science fiction trope. If Forbidden Planet was remade today, and that might well happen, then the C57D would be bigger and better equipped. The only technical work undertaken by the crew would be repair work. Clearly, the United Planets Navy, if we can call them that, expects its crews to assemble and jury-rig, rather than having everything to hand. This is an often overlooked aspect of Forbidden Planet, as it seems so rare in science fiction. And then there is observation number 3. The reference by Commander Adams to the C57D being the Bellerothon expedition's relief. Where do these observations take us? Well, we have 1. The size of the C57D, 2. The crew having to assemble needed equipment stowed away for the journey, and 3. Use of the word relief. Much of this I have read before, but not necessarily in a science fiction context. Instead, these seem rather like the writers took inspiration not only from The Tempest, but also from Arctic and Antarctic exploration. The polar explorers often had support from relief ships. They had to stow their gear for the voyage and then assemble it once they had arrived, and their ships were small, with limited all-male crews who had to live together in a confined space. If you are now thinking that this is a weak conclusion or blatantly obvious, then I agree, but I wanted an excuse to build the C57D. We will revisit Forbidden Planet again soon, and if you liked this video, then why not press the like button, share the video on social media, and subscribe to the channel. If you don't like this video, then press the dislike button, share the video on social media, and subscribe to the channel anyway.